Have you ever met someone and felt an instant, unexplainable connection, like you've known them forever, even though you just met? Or maybe you've experienced the opposite, meeting someone who immediately triggered feelings of discomfort or fear for no logical reason. What if these intense reactions aren't random at all, but echoes from lives you've lived before? Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating aspects of human connection, soulmates and reincarnation, through the groundbreaking work of Dr. Brian Weiss, a psychiatrist who accidentally discovered past life memories in his patients and changed our understanding of love, relationships, and the eternal journey of the soul. If you're someone who's always felt there's more to love than meets the eye, someone who believes in the deeper mysteries of human connection, then this video is for you. Subscribe and hit that notification bell, because we're about to explore territory that could completely transform how you view every relationship in your life. And please, leave a comment saying, "I'm ready to evolve spiritually," if you're open to discovering the profound truth about soulmate connections. The story begins in the 1980s when Dr. Brian Weiss, a highly respected psychiatrist and graduate of Columbia University and Yale Medical School, encountered something that would challenge everything he thought he knew about the human mind. Working with a patient named Catherine who suffered from debilitating phobias and anxiety, Weiss decided to try hypnotherapy as a last resort. What happened next defied all conventional medical understanding. Under hypnosis, Catherine began describing detailed scenes from what appeared to be past lives. She spoke of being a young woman in ancient Egypt, of dying in floods, of living as a Spanish prostitute, of being a soldier who died in battle. But here's what shocked Weiss the most. As Catherine recounted these past life experiences, her present-day symptoms began to disappear. The phobias that had plagued her for years simply vanished. The anxiety that had controlled her life melted away. Initially skeptical, Weiss documented everything meticulously. He was, after all, a man of science. But as session after session revealed more past life memories, and as Catherine's healing accelerated in ways that traditional therapy had never achieved, Weiss had to confront a revolutionary possibility. What if our souls really do carry memories, lessons, and connections from previous incarnations? This discovery led Weiss to explore something even more profound, the concept of soulmates and soul groups. According to his research and the insights that emerged through his work with thousands of patients over the decades, we don't journey through multiple lifetimes alone. We travel with the same souls, playing different roles, learning different lessons, but always connected by an invisible thread of love and shared purpose. But here's where many people get confused about soulmates. Popular culture has sold us the idea that a soulmate is that one perfect person who completes us, our romantic other half. Weiss's discoveries reveal something far more complex and beautiful. Soulmates, he explains, come in many forms. They can be romantic partners. Yes, but also friends, family members, mentors, even people who challenge us or create difficulties in our lives. The key isn't the role they play, but the soul recognition, that deep knowing that transcends logical explanation. Think about the people in your life who have had the most profound impact on you. Not necessarily the easiest relationships, but the ones that changed you, taught you, pushed you to grow. These are likely soul connections, relationships that your soul planned before this lifetime to help both of you evolve. Share in the comments a moment when you felt the presence of spiritual guidance or experienced an unexplainable connection with someone. Your story might help others recognize their own soul encounters. So how do you recognize when you've met a soulmate from a previous life? Weiss describes several unmistakable signs that go beyond mere attraction or compatibility. The first and most common is instant recognition. This isn't just finding someone attractive or interesting, it's a profound sense of familiarity that seems to reach into your very core. You might find yourself thinking, "I feel like I've known you my entire life," even after just meeting. This recognition often comes with intense emotions that seem disproportionate to your actual shared history in this lifetime. You might feel overwhelming love, inexplicable protectiveness, or even surprising comfort with someone you barely know. Conversely, you might experience immediate discomfort or fear around certain people, which Weiss explains could indicate unresolved issues from past life interactions. Another significant sign is the feeling of coming home. When you're with this person, whether in romantic love, friendship, or family relationships, there's a sense of rightness, of being exactly where you belong. It's not about perfection or ease. Soulmate relationships can be challenging, but there's an underlying current of spiritual recognition that makes even the difficulties feel meaningful. Many people also report experiencing vivid dreams about past lives when they encounter a soulmate. These dreams often feature the same person in different time periods, different locations, sometimes different genders or family roles. While some dismiss these as imagination, Weiss's research suggests they may be genuine soul memories surfacing to help us understand our current connection. Physical reactions are another telltale sign. Some people experience inexplicable physical sensations, tingling, warmth, electrical feelings, when they first touch or embrace a soulmate. Others report feeling dizzy or emotionally overwhelmed during initial meetings, as if their soul is adjusting to the recognition of this familiar energy. One of the most profound indicators is rapid spiritual growth when you're connected to this person. Soulmate relationships act as catalysts for evolution. You might find yourself becoming more intuitive, more compassionate, more aware of spiritual dimensions of life. The relationship itself becomes a vehicle for both souls to learn, heal, and ascend to higher levels of consciousness. But perhaps the most telling sign is the sense of unfinished business. There might be immediate understanding of each other that goes beyond what you've actually discussed. Shared interests that feel deeply familiar. Similar life themes, challenges or callings. It's as if you're picking up a conversation that was paused between lifetimes. If this message is touching your soul, leave a like so more people can awaken to the light of this understanding. The universe works through our collective energy to spread consciousness and truth. Now, it's crucial to understand that not all soulmate relationships are meant to last a lifetime in the traditional sense. Some souls come into our lives for brief but transformative encounters. Others stay for decades. The duration isn't what matters. It's the soul growth and healing that occurs. Weiss often explains that some of our most challenging relationships are actually with our closest soulmates, souls who love us enough to play difficult roles to help us learn essential lessons. This understanding can completely transform how you view relationship difficulties. That person who betrayed you, the family member who challenges you, the friend who mysteriously disappeared from your life. These might all be soulmate connections playing out karmic agreements made before birth. It doesn't excuse harmful behavior, but it can help you find meaning and healing in experiences that otherwise might leave you feeling bitter or confused. The process of recognizing and healing past life patterns with soulmates often unfolds gradually. You might start noticing recurring themes in your relationships. Perhaps you repeatedly attract partners who struggle with the same issues, or you find yourself in similar family dynamics across different relationships. Weiss suggests these patterns continue until the soul lessons are learned and the karmic debts are resolved. Healing these patterns requires both awareness and conscious choice. Sometimes it means forgiving someone who hurt you in this life, understanding that their actions might be connected to past life dynamics that you both agreed to resolve. Sometimes it means breaking unhealthy patterns that have followed you across relationships, choosing to respond differently than you have before. Send this video to someone who's seeking spiritual clarity or comfort. The souls who need to hear this message will be drawn to it through divine synchronicity. One of the most beautiful aspects of Weiss's work is how it reframes the purpose of romantic love. Instead of seeking someone to complete us, we can understand that soulmate romantic partnerships are opportunities for mutual spiritual evolution. The attraction, the passion, the deep bond. These are all designed to keep us connected long enough to do the soul work we came here to do together. This doesn't diminish the beauty of romantic love. It actually enhances it by adding layers of meaning and purpose. When you understand that you and your partner chose to find each other again in this lifetime, that your love story spans multiple incarnations, it adds a sense of sacred destiny to your connection. But what about when soulmate relationships end? This is one of the most painful human experiences, especially when the connection feels so profound and destined. Weiss offers comfort here by explaining that souls sometimes come together to complete specific lessons or to heal particular wounds, and once that work is done, They may need to separate to continue their individual evolution. The love remains eternal, even when the physical relationship changes form. This understanding can bring peace to those grieving lost loves, whether through breakups or death. The connection continues on a soul level. The love you shared transcends this single lifetime, and very often, these souls will find ways to reconnect in future incarnations, perhaps in different roles, but always with that underlying recognition and love. Write in the comments, "Today, I release old patterns and embrace the light of spiritual renewal." This affirmation helps align you with the higher purpose of all your relationships. Children often provide some of the most compelling evidence for soul connections and reincarnation. Weiss has documented countless cases of children who remember past lives with startling accuracy, often including details about people who later turn out to be soulmates from previous incarnations. Young children, before they're conditioned to doubt such things, sometimes recognize family members as souls they've known before, but in different roles. Parents often report that their children seem like old souls, wise beyond their years, or that they feel more like friends than parent and child. This could indicate a soul connection, where the parent and child have been close companions in previous lives, perhaps as siblings, best friends, or even partners. The family structure in this lifetime provides a framework for continued soul evolution and mutual support. Sometimes children are born into families where they seem to carry healing energy for family traumas, or they embody qualities that the family desperately needs. Weiss suggests these souls often volunteer to incarnate specifically to help their soul family members grow and heal. Understanding this can help parents appreciate the spiritual gift their children represent, beyond just the biological relationship. The concept of soul families extends beyond just immediate relatives. We often incarnate in clusters with the same group of souls, taking turns supporting each other's spiritual development. That friend who's been loyal through everything, the mentor who appeared at just the right time, the colleague who inspires you to be better. These connections often have roots that go back lifetimes. Recognizing your soul family can bring tremendous comfort and purpose to your life. It helps explain why certain relationships feel so significant, why you're drawn to help certain people, or why particular friendships transcend normal boundaries of time and circumstance. When you start viewing your closest connections as soul family members, it naturally brings more compassion, patience, and unconditional love to these relationships. Thank the greater plan by leaving your like as a sign of connection and gratitude for this message received. Every interaction helps spread this consciousness to souls who are ready to remember their eternal nature. But what about those relationships that feel instantly difficult or triggering? Weiss explains that these too are often soulmate connections. Sometimes souls agree to play challenging roles for each other to facilitate growth that wouldn't happen otherwise. The person who pushes your buttons might be a soul who loves you so much they're willing to be the bad guy in this lifetime, so you can learn to establish boundaries, develop self-worth, or heal specific wounds. This doesn't mean you should tolerate abuse or stay in harmful relationships. Understanding the spiritual dimension doesn't override the need for practical wisdom and self-protection, but it can help you approach difficult relationships with less personal victimization and more spiritual perspective. You can learn the lesson, heal the pattern, and choose your response from a place of empowerment rather than reactive pain. The healing of these challenging soulmate dynamics often requires forgiveness, not for the other person's sake, but for your own soul's freedom. Forgiveness doesn't mean condoning harmful behavior. It means releasing the energetic hold that past wounds have on your present life. When you forgive from a soul level, understanding that both of you were playing roles in a larger spiritual curriculum, it liberates both souls to move forward in their evolution. Sometimes this forgiveness happens in meditation, prayer, or therapeutic work. Sometimes it happens through direct communication. And sometimes it happens simply through the decision to release resentment and choose peace. The method matters less than the sincere intention to free your soul from the burden of carrying old wounds. Many people wonder if they can have multiple soulmates in one lifetime, especially in terms of romantic relationships. Weiss's work suggests that yes, we can have several significant soul connections in a single incarnation. Some people marry multiple soulmates throughout their life, each relationship serving different purposes in their spiritual development. Others have one primary romantic soulmate, but maintain deep soul friendships that are equally significant for their growth. The key is understanding that each soulmate connection brings specific gifts and lessons. One might teach you about passionate love, another about companionate partnership, another about self-reliance through loss. Rather than comparing these relationships or trying to rank them in importance, the spiritual approach is to receive the gifts each connection offers and honor the soul growth that occurs through each experience. Write in the comments, "I align myself with the purposes of good and continue firm in my journey of elevation." This declaration helps you attract soul connections that support your highest evolution. Dreams play a significant role in soulmate recognition and past life remembrance. Many people report having vivid dreams about people they haven't met yet, only to later encounter these exact individuals in waking life. Others dream about their current loved ones in completely different settings, time periods, or relationship roles, suggesting memories from shared past lives. Weiss encourages people to pay attention to recurring dreams, especially those involving the same people in different scenarios. These dreams might be your soul's way of helping you remember your deeper connections and understand the spiritual purpose of your current relationships. Keeping a dream journal can help you notice patterns and recognize when dream figures later appear in your waking life. Sometimes these dreams also provide guidance for current relationship challenges. You might dream about a past life where you and your current partner had different roles, showing you what needs to be healed or what lessons you're working on together. The unconscious mind, when freed from the limitations of waking consciousness, can access soul memories that provide profound insight into present circumstances. Meditation is another powerful tool for connecting with soulmate energy and past life memories. In quiet, receptive states, many people receive impressions, images, or feelings about their soul connections. You might sense the presence of souls you haven't met in this lifetime yet, or gain deeper understanding of the spiritual purpose behind your current relationships. Weiss has developed specific meditation techniques for past life regression and soulmate recognition. These practices help people access their soul memories safely and integrate the insights in healing ways. Even without formal past life regression, regular meditation can increase your intuitive sensitivity to soul recognition when you encounter familiar souls in daily life. The practice doesn't have to be complex. Simple, quiet time spent asking your soul to reveal what you need to know about your relationships can yield surprising insights. The key is approaching this exploration with openness rather than forcing specific outcomes, allowing your soul's wisdom to emerge naturally. Leave your like as a sign of gratitude and spiritual connection if this understanding is awakening something deep within your soul. Your engagement helps this message reach other souls who are ready for this level of awareness. One of the most practical applications of understanding soulmate connections is in conscious relationship creation. When you know you're working with souls you've loved across lifetimes, it brings a different quality of commitment and patience to your relationships. Instead of giving up when things get difficult, you can ask what lesson this challenge is meant to teach, what healing it's meant to facilitate. This perspective encourages deeper communication in relationships. You might find yourself having conversations about soul purpose, spiritual growth, and the deeper meaning behind your connection. These discussions often strengthen relationships by moving beyond surface-level compatibility to soul-level understanding and commitment. It also helps in relationship choices. When you understand the difference between ego attraction and soul recognition, you can make more conscious decisions about which connections to pursue and deepen. Ego attraction might be based on superficial qualities, social status, or temporary chemistry. Soul recognition involves that deeper knowing, the sense of coming home, the feeling that this connection serves both souls' highest evolution. For those seeking soulmate relationships, understanding these principles can transform your approach. Instead of desperately searching for someone to complete you, you can focus on your own spiritual development, trusting that souls you're meant to connect with will appear when the timing is right. This removes the desperation and neediness that often repel authentic connections and replaces it with the attractive energy of someone living their soul purpose. Many people also find that as they heal past life patterns and release old relationship wounds, they naturally attract healthier soulmate connections. It's as if clearing your soul's energy field allows the right souls to recognize and find you more easily. The concept of soul contracts is central to understanding soulmate relationships. According to Weiss's findings, souls often make agreements before incarnating about what they want to learn, heal, or accomplish together. These contracts aren't rigid destinies, but rather flexible frameworks for mutual support and growth. Sometimes soul contracts involve promises to find each other again, to love each other through specific challenges, or to help each other remember their spiritual nature. Understanding these contracts can bring peace when relationships are difficult and purpose when connections are beautiful. It also explains why some relationships feel like they have unfinished business, because they often do. Souls might return to complete conversations that were interrupted by death, to heal wounds that weren't resolved in previous lifetimes, or to experience love that was denied or destroyed by circumstances beyond their control. Share this video with someone who needs spiritual enlightenment or comfort. Trust that divine timing will bring this message to souls who are ready to understand their eternal connections. The timing of soulmate meetings is rarely accidental. People often report that they met their soulmates during pivotal moments in their lives, during major transitions, spiritual awakenings, or periods of significant growth. This suggests that these encounters are orchestrated by higher wisdom to support both souls' evolution at exactly the right time. Sometimes souls incarnate specifically to wait for each other, living parallel lives until the moment when their paths are meant to cross. Other times, souls meet early in life but don't recognize their connection until they've both done enough individual growth to handle the intensity of their bond. This divine timing means that forcing relationships or desperately seeking soulmate connections often backfires. The ego's timeline rarely matches the soul's perfect timing. Learning to trust the process, to focus on your own growth and purpose while remaining open to soul connections, creates the best environment for authentic soulmate relationships to unfold. It also suggests that if a soulmate relationship ends or someone leaves your life, it might not be permanent. Souls often weave in and out of each other's lives across decades, sometimes even within a single lifetime. Someone who was meant to be in your life will find a way back when the timing serves both souls' highest good. The healing work that happens through soulmate connections extends beyond the individuals involved. When souls heal together, they create ripple effects that benefit their families, communities, and even the collective consciousness of humanity. Each pair of souls that successfully resolves karmic patterns and chooses love over fear contributes to the spiritual evolution of the entire planet. This gives cosmic significance to even the most personal relationship work. When you choose forgiveness over resentment with a soulmate, when you learn to love unconditionally despite human flaws, when you support each other's spiritual growth, you're contributing to the healing of humanity itself. Understanding this larger purpose can motivate you to approach your soul connections with greater consciousness and commitment. Every interaction becomes an opportunity to choose love, to heal ancient wounds, to demonstrate the possibility of relationships based on spiritual truth rather than ego needs. Write in the comments, "I accept this spiritual guidance and move forward with courage and faith." This affirmation aligns you with the highest potential of all your soul connections. For those who have lost soulmates through death, Weiss's work offers profound comfort. According to the insights received through his patients' experiences, consciousness continues after physical death, and soul connections remain intact. The love you shared with someone who has died doesn't end, it simply changes form. Many people report receiving signs, dreams, or direct communication from deceased soulmates. These experiences aren't imagination or wishful thinking, but actual soul-to-soul communication that transcends physical limitations. Understanding this can transform grief from devastating loss to confident knowing that separation is only temporary. This perspective also brings peace about your own mortality and the mortality of those you love. Death becomes not an ending, but a transition, a return to the soul realm where all connections continue and all love is preserved. The relationships that matter most transcend any single lifetime. Some souls choose to reincarnate quickly to reconnect with their loved ones, while others remain in spirit to guide and support from the other side. Either way, the bond endures, and reunion, whether in this lifetime or future